Okay, up around the tensioner, around the alternator, over an idler, I think, then down around the compressor, up around this, and then down around the crank. Okay, Mopar belt, 2018 Grand Cherokee. I bought a new Mopar belt. Yeah, the vehicle's got 90,000 miles. See if she'll focus in on that. Feels kind of brittle, so why not change it? I think that's ended up buying an OEM one. Unfortunately, it was $56. Boy, they really give it to you at the dealership, but I feel good about changing that out, so I'm going to do that right now. About the easiest belt you can change. There's the tensioner right there, 3/8. You turn it counterclockwise. It only goes like about an inch, inch and a half, and you can just unwrap this belt nice and easy around the various pulleys. There it is. Mopar belt number right there. All right, there's the new belt. Okay, you can see the tensioner around the alternator. Up over the pulley at the 12 o'clock position. Comes down, goes around the compressor pulley, then over this little idler pulley, around the crankshaft, and then the tensioner. As I said, when you loosen this, you take the tensioner that way, counterclockwise, then you let it go and it just puts some nice tension on there. So nice easy pulley to change. Nice belt to change. Okay, the problem I have is when I went to install the passenger headlamp, a clip inside it broke. So the lamp is shooting on an angle. It won't stay into position. Can't get it because, as you know, there's really no room. There's a rubber seal you pull off in there. It's really disgraceful what you got to go through. I just don't think I can work on it without taking the shroud off. Perhaps I could try moving this computer around and see if I can get my hand in there. I think it's pretty sad when you have to go this far to try to get this lens out. I mean, obviously I tried everything. I moved the computer over like this to get my hand in there. But unfortunately, the flaw of their lens is this piece right here. So this piece clips into the back of the lens and it fell out 6 months ago. That piece right there, what you're looking at, is where the lamp, the H11 lamp, would go in and then you rotate to lock it in. So obviously what keeps happening is this keeps falling and dangling and shooting the headlight off on an angle. So I'm just trying to, what I like to do, I'm trying to figure out, I think I got a couple bolts right here. Got some more stuff to take off, but I'm trying to get this lens out right here so I can get to the back of it and make this attach to it. That's where I'm at. All right, I undid some plastic clips right here to lift this piece of plastic up. Underneath here is a 10mm bolt. Basically, this lens has a piece that goes all the way through and it anchors right here. So I got to get that bolt out. That's step one. All right, I chose to use my unibit, drill a hole through that plastic. So next time I can just get that out nice and easy. I'll make it a little bit bigger and I should be able to pull that right out. Oh, amazing, right? How about that, huh? Would it have killed him? Seriously, would it have killed him to just have a hole right there? Well, the damn bolt's only about 1 3/4 inches long. I'm taking another two long bolts out. One here, one right there. Then there's 3 or 4 way down low I gotta find. So we'll see what we can do here. Wow, look at this freaking thing, huh? Look at this piece of shit. Wow. Well, the lens is floating now. See if I can pull this thing out. Obviously, lift up on it a little bit. There's the lamp. Let's undo this. There goes the marker light. And this is the high beam. I just turned it. Nope, that's a fog light. I just turned that counterclockwise, and then I got the high beam right here. Turned that counterclockwise. Pull that out. And there's one more. Wow, some serious shit here. Let me get that last. There's the problem. You can see it just completely. I got to somehow get that piece in there attached to that shell. That's why the headlight kept coming out. There's the lamp. So basically the wire comes, this is your adjustment right here if you ever had to adjust your lights. But the wire must be internal to that because it's all in this shell right here. So there it is. Let's see what I can do here. Just to look at that. I didn't undo the whole thing. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the ass. I did undo all the clips on the bottom. So we'll see what we can do. For about an hour now, I've been trying to work those little fingers, silicone, tape, anything. Biggest piece of shit. It's kind of stuck in. I'm going to take some duct tape and kind of reinforce that base. Then obviously I can put the lamp in and hook it back up. So you're like, oh, why don't you just remove it? Open these little locks right here, because see these little locks right here? The whole thing is sealed with an epoxy, so it wouldn't even matter. It almost looks like for something as stupid as this, you might have to buy this whole lens, probably 500 bucks, who knows? But absolutely shame on Jeep. Disgusting. The biggest bunch of hokey shit. Got the lamp in. I got it kind of holding long, thin strips of Velcro tape, which has just such a super adhesive. You can see I cut it in strips, and it's at least holding that in. So I'll put the rubber cap on it and start assembling this. My God, absolute disaster. Disgusting, really. Then I'll price this damn lens, but I don't know, man. Sometimes Jeep really lets you down, and this is one of those cases on the Grand Cherokee. No excuse for this, just junk. All right, I've been snapping together all these pieces. It actually, after you get that bracket in under the headlight, it actually snaps together pretty well. I got some clips up here at the top I got to put in right there, right there. The big question is, I'm gonna start the vehicle, test all the lights, and make sure they're working. Sure would be nice to have this headlight thing squared away and aiming straight. All right, started the vehicle, tested all the lights, headlights, high beams, markers, directionals. Happy to say everything's working great. So it was a success. And most importantly, that light is aiming straight forward. Okay, now. So you can see now the light is nice and straight. So the problem with that cheesy bracket was the thing was just dangling or barely caught and aiming off to the side. So yeah, I like that. That's good. That's good. Matches this one. Wow, what a freaking shit job, man. But at least with all that plastic, at least it snaps together pretty good. Got the new belt put on it as well. Tomorrow, down the Cooters, new plugs. Getting an occasional cylinder 3 misfire, so we're gonna put some new plugs on it. Bought Mopar plugs. I think we might drain the coolant too and put a new thermostat on it just as a precaution at 90 miles. And then the last thing I got to do, assuming that takes care of it, the last thing I got to do is put some new pads on this. So 90,000 miles costing me some money. I guess it's to be expected though. It's been a good vehicle. It's just all of a sudden things catch up to you fast. All right.